California, a land of breathtaking beauty and natural wonders, is facing a growing crisis: wildfires. For decades, wildfires have been a part of the state's ecosystem, but in recent years, they have become more frequent, more intense, and more destructive. The Golden State is now grappling with a new reality: a year-round fire season that threatens lives, homes, and the environment. What was once a seasonal occurrence has become a constant threat, with wildfires igniting throughout the year. These fires are not just larger, they are hotter, faster, and more unpredictable. The consequences are devastating, impacting everything from air quality to wildlife habitats. The increase in wildfire activity is a complex issue with no easy solutions. However, understanding the factors driving this alarming trend is crucial for developing effective strategies to mitigate the risks and protect California's future. The year 2025 began with a stark reminder of California's vulnerability to wildfires. In January, as Santa Ana winds whipped through the region, the Palisades Fire erupted in Los Angeles, sending shockwaves through a state already on high alert. The firestorm, fueled by dry conditions and powerful winds, tore through neighborhoods, consuming homes and forcing thousands to flee. The Palisades Fire was a wake-up call, demonstrating that even coastal areas once considered less susceptible to wildfires are now at risk. It was followed by a series of other devastating fires, including the Eaton Fire in Altadena, which claimed 5 lives amidst 100-mile-per-hour wind gusts. These fires, along with others in Silmar and the Sepulveda Basin, contributed to the destruction of over 1,000 homes in the Pacific Palisades area alone. These recent firestorms are not isolated incidents but rather part of a growing trend of increasingly destructive wildfires in California. They underscore the urgent need to understand the factors driving this crisis and to implement effective measures to prevent and mitigate future disasters. While natural factors play a significant role in wildfire ignition, human activities are often the initial spark that ignites these infernos. Arson, a deliberate act of setting fires, is a major concern, but unintentional human-caused fires are even more common. Downed power lines, faulty electrical equipment, and even discarded cigarettes can quickly escalate into raging wildfires, especially in dry, windy conditions. A 2022 audit revealed that utility companies are not doing enough to prevent their equipment from sparking wildfires. The audit found inadequate vegetation management, insufficient inspections, and a lack of investment in fire-resistant infrastructure. These findings highlight the need for stricter regulations and increased accountability for utilities to prevent future tragedies. Human negligence also plays a role. Carelessly discarded cigarettes, campfires that are not properly extinguished, and fireworks used irresponsibly can all ignite devastating wildfires. Public awareness campaigns and stricter enforcement of fire safety regulations are essential to reduce the risk of human-caused fires. While human actions often provide the ignition source, natural factors create the perfect conditions for wildfires to thrive. California's Mediterranean climate, characterized by hot, dry summers and wet winters, has always made it prone to wildfires. However, climate change is exacerbating these natural cycles, creating a tinderbox landscape primed for ignition. Years of prolonged drought have parched the landscape, turning vegetation into highly flammable fuel. Adding to the problem is the infestation of bark beetles, which have killed millions of trees across the state. These dead trees, stripped of their moisture, act as giant matchsticks, ready to ignite at the slightest spark. The combination of drought, insect infestation, and high temperatures creates a perfect storm for wildfires. As temperatures rise due to climate change, the risk of wildfire ignition and spread increases exponentially. Section 5. A warming world: climate change fans the flames. There is a growing scientific consensus that climate change is a major driver of the increase in wildfire activity in California and other fire-prone regions around the world. As global temperatures rise, so do temperatures in California, leading to hotter, drier conditions that create ideal wildfire fuel. The warming climate is also disrupting precipitation patterns, leading to more frequent and severe droughts. California has experienced some of its driest years on record in recent decades, further exacerbating the wildfire risk. The lack of rainfall not only dries out vegetation, but also depletes water sources, making it more difficult to fight fires once they start. The impacts of climate change are complex and far-reaching. but the link to wildfires is undeniable. As the planet continues to warm, we can expect to see even more frequent and intense wildfires, not just in California but in other fire-prone regions around the globe. Section 6. Battling the blaze. Firefighting on the front lines. Firefighters in California are on the front lines of the wildfire crisis, risking their lives to protect communities and contain these massive blazes. They are highly trained and skilled professionals who work tirelessly in extremely dangerous conditions. However, the increasing frequency and intensity of wildfires are putting a strain on firefighting resources. The cost of fighting wildfires has skyrocketed in recent years, straining state budgets. CAL FIRE, California's fire agency, has seen its budget increase dramatically, from $800 million in 2005 to 2006 to $3.7 billion in 2021 to 2022. Despite these increased investments, fire agencies are struggling to keep pace with the growing threat. The challenges facing firefighters are immense. Wildfires are becoming larger, hotter, and more unpredictable, making them extremely difficult to contain. The terrain is often rugged and inaccessible, and strong winds can quickly change the direction of a fire, putting firefighters at risk. Despite these challenges, California's firefighters continue to demonstrate incredible bravery and commitment in the face of this growing threat. Section 7. The ripple effect, devastating consequences of wildfires. The consequences of California's wildfires extend far beyond the immediate damage caused by flames. These fires have a ripple effect impacting various aspects of life in the state, from the environment and public health to the economy and insurance industry. The environmental impacts are significant. Wildfires release massive amounts of carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases into the atmosphere, contributing to climate change. They destroy wildlife habitats, threaten endangered species, and pollute water sources. The smoke from wildfires can travel for hundreds of miles, impacting air quality and public health. The economic costs of wildfires are staggering. Homes and businesses are destroyed, tourism suffers, and agricultural losses can be devastating. The insurance industry is also feeling the pressure, as claims from wildfire damage continue to rise. Many homeowners in high-risk areas are facing skyrocketing insurance premiums or even cancellations. Section 8. Fighting fire with fire, mitigation and prevention strategies. Addressing the wildfire crisis requires a multi-pronged approach that includes both mitigation and prevention strategies. Mitigation efforts focus on reducing the severity of wildfires and protecting communities, while prevention aims to stop fires from starting in the first place. One key mitigation strategy is creating defensible space around homes and communities. This involves clearing vegetation within 100 feet of structures to reduce the risk of fire spreading from wildlands to homes. Utility companies are also being required to improve their infrastructure, including undergrounding power lines in high-risk areas and implementing more robust vegetation management programs. Prevention efforts include public awareness campaigns to educate people about fire safety, stricter enforcement of fire codes, and investments in fire-resistant building materials. Controlled burns, a controversial but effective tool, are also being used more frequently to reduce fuel loads in forests. Section 9. A call to action, protecting our future from the flames. The wildfire crisis in California is a complex and multifaceted challenge that demands immediate attention and action. It is a problem that affects us all, and it requires a collective effort to find solutions. We must demand that our elected officials prioritize wildfire mitigation and prevention efforts. This includes investing in research, supporting fire agencies, and implementing policies that address climate change, which is a major driver of the wildfire crisis. We must also take personal responsibility for preventing wildfires. This means being aware of our surroundings, following fire safety regulations, and taking steps to reduce our impact on the environment. By working together, we can protect our communities, our environment, and our future from the devastating impacts of wildfires.